might envisage, right, as things unfold. These are many more we'll be reflecting on. We'll be doing this from the viewpoint of the Office of the Special Advisor to Mr. Governor. He's here with us. I'll be reflecting through that in a short while. There'll be loads and loads of traffic updates as well as they come in. But first off, let's take a detour, have a word from our partners, and when we return, it'll be time to begin the conversation.
Dear Lagosians, the vision of making Lagos a sustainable and resilient state through community regeneration and inclusive physical planning begins with building right. We all have a role to play in achieving this vision in line with the Lagos State Urban and Regional Planning and Development Law of 2019 as amended. Do you know that before buying a land or building on it, you must check for the permissible use from the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development? Do you know that you must obtain a planning permit and authorization to commence the construction of your building? Do you also know that you require state certification and certificate of completion for building construction in Lagos State? Estate developers must obtain layout approval before developing their estate and obtain full planning permit after the expiration of a provisional planning permit. Their Lagosians, do not carry out unapproved renovation, remodeling or demolition. Do not break the seal on an enforced property. Do not obtain fake planning permits and do not abandon uncompleted buildings. Do not break the law. Build right in accordance with the state operative development plans. Let's work together to make Lagos a sustainable smart city of choice. For more information, download the Lagos State MPP UD app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Àjùmọ̀ṣe ni. Announcer, Lagos State Government.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Build Right is the program we set for the conversation. But quickly taking you through the roads, we did tell you if you're making that journey through Ikorodu Road, it's still looking good, even though you might have it slow around the alternating points from Ojota heading towards Maryland. It's getting better now. And from Maryland approaching Fade looks good. But between Fade and Ojuelegba, I heard that there was an impediment there earlier on. But what's the latest with it? Control room, you can keep us posted on that one as well. All right, then this one is from, let me see if you can quickly sample that before we switch gears to the conversation this morning. Ajegunle Apapa Corridor, yeah? All right, I'll save that to you later. But Alausa Ikeja here, traffic is... that movement in and out of the axis is looking very, very good. Awolowo Way inwards Ikeja is busy from Coca-Cola. This is due to alternation at Allen intersection, so it's really tailing back traffic. Latif Jakonde Road from Coca-Cola proceeding towards Omole Junction in and out is very, very good at the moment. The stretch of Nuruddin Olookpokpo in and out is also very good. Governors Road as well as Governors Avenue very much in order. And then Mobolaji Johnson from Alausa intersection all the way through 7 Up in and out looking pretty good. Aromire from Allen intersection proceeding towards Hako Junction looking good. Likewise for the return journey as well. And then we can tell you no impediment cited. Traffic managers well positioned to ensure that you have it very, very good. Okay then, so let's sink our teeth into the conversation. So today we are situating the place of e-GIS in the urban planning equation of Lagos State. And joining me in the studios right now, Dr. Olajide Babatunde. He's a special advisor to Mr. Governor on e-GIS and urban development. Dr. Babatunde, nice to have you in the building once again. Good morning.
Good morning, Victor.
And how are you doing, sir?
I'm okay. I'm very well, thank you.
Great. All right, then. So one of the most insightful and compelling sessions of this quarter, in terms of the loads of information that were churned out, was done 5 weeks ago when you were here. And, of course, you were here at that time to reflect through change detection and satellite communication and its role that it plays. So let me say that was one of the most compelling programs. But let's begin to sum up the essence of this campaign this morning. Build Right through this advocacy program. Special advisor, how would you describe it so far so good?
Well, first I want to say a very big thank you to you, Victor, and your and your colleague.
Mike James.
So I would like to say a very big thank you to you, Victor, and your colleague.
Mike James?
Yeah, Mike James, and also the director of our PAU and his staff. I want to say thank you to Lagosians who have been listening to us. I know that today marks the end of the first segment, and we're starting another segment of Build Right next week.
Right.
So far so good. It has been very engaging. I mean, after the program, people do come to the office or call, so it means that it has been impactful.
Right.
If I do a catalog of, inquiries that we've received, after every program that we have here, you will understand why I say this has been one very impactful program.
Right.
And I just want to thank the members of public for listening and also coming along with us on this journey.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, then, so let's talk a bit now on one of the biggest handouts. I know this campaign has been on for 13 weeks now, and one of the very, very big handouts of this campaign when we started is the amnesty on planning permits for completed buildings. My special advisor, how is that amnesty program? How's it going?
One of the things I'm just going to do is to just relate this to e-GIS. And because this is really like the crops of today's matter.
Right.
So amnesty ends in a few days, in 20 days. It ends at the end of this month. It's a 90 days program, within which, the Ministry of Physical Planning, both the Office of Physical Planning and the Office of Urban Development, have invited members of the public who have houses or who have built houses in Lagos without approvals to come forward and benefit from this program approved by Governor Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu. A lot of people have applied. I can tell you that the response has been very good, but I still think that we can do more.
Okay.
Members of the public are enjoined to ensure that they go all out to make sure that their buildings, are approved, by the Lagos State Physical Planning Permit Authority.
All right.
So relating it to e-GIS, immediately after this is done, so e-GIS is Enterprise Geographic Information Service. It's a service like LRS, so we provide service to every agency that needs spatial information. We interconnect them, so that everybody can benefit from each other's information. So one of the things we're going to be doing, or that we're already doing, is every approval in Lagos, we're already digitizing it. Okay. So in e-GIS, we do three things. We do digitization, instrumentation, and we also do automation.
Oh.
So the digitization part is we're going to make sure that every single information about land, including your approvals, are digitized. The moment it is digitized, it's on a platform, which is why I keep on saying, in a few days, when amnesty is over, please do not rent any building that you cannot find on the Last Week portal. Last Week is Lagos State Planning Information Center or system.
Right.
So when you go to Last Week portal, which we are going to launch immediately, the amnesty is over, you'll be able to see what properties actually do have approval. Don't rent buildings without approval.
Right. So you're saying all these structures now that we have in Lagos, any moment from now, with a punch of the button, you can have information that relates to those properties? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you're going to have it. At least the ones that we should put there in the public domain, particularly building approval. I don't want to hear that Commissioner Tokunbo Wahab has gone to demolish a property within the right of way and you're saying, it has an approval. No, check the Last Week portal and you would know whether it has approval or not. Also, it's not just renting. Also, don't buy. Okay. Because a lot of developers will go and build estates and extend beyond the approval that they are given, and some of those things are now built in the canal. When that is done, it will be pulled down. So any good land information system is transparent.
Right.
We're bringing transparency into land administration in Lagos, which means that with the punch of a button from the comfort of your home, you can actually find out whether that property you want to buy, or that property you want to rent, or that property you've inherited, or that property you are living in has a building permit.
All right. So someone will be asking the question. So, of what significance is e-GIS to the development of Lagos? Maybe we can just break it down much more for us.
Okay. So the Enterprise Geographic Information Service, I keep emphasizing, is a service. You understand the way building a system, or we have built a system where we have been able to, we've been able to on a platform, try to interconnect all our agencies that are dealing with anything on land in spatial form, whether it's the Ministry of Waterfront, whether it's the Ministry of Physical Planning, whether it's the Lands Bureau, whether it's the Ministry of Energy, you can name it. So right this moment, I can tell you that we have the orthophoto of 2021, 2022. We are also trying to update that. So from the orthophoto, you're able to recognize and see all the properties that you have in Lagos, because this is something that has been captured from the sky.
Wow.
You understand? So that means I can see every single building that is in Lagos.
So if I want
let me also say something.
Right.
Already from our platform, those people who have extended their fence beyond their boundary line, we know. And we are going to come for them. Do you understand? We either demolish the fence, or we make you to pay for it if it is permissible. That is the power of e-GIS. With e-GIS, we're able to get all of these things. There's nowhere to hide.
Wow. So if my own building now, I can get information about where I'm living from e-GIS.
You can, if it's number one. For you to be in our cadastral, you must have. So for you to have a computerized land cadastral, all land must be mapped and surveyed.
Right.
So mapping includes the aerial survey works. Do you understand? And then the survey is you having like a survey that is recognized by the Lagos State government.
Right.
So if you bought your property from the federal government, you need to go for land regularization, because we need to have you in our cadastral. Because the moment you want to renovate that property, the other will not give you a permit, because it must be contained in our cadastral.
So is the e-GIS fully functional at the moment as we speak right now?
We have launched a portal. And one of the things I want to tell the citizens that e-GIS is successful the day we have been able to digitize Mr. Victor's property, and all transactions on his property can now be done online.
Can be seen. Right.
You understand that you can see the property, you can do all subsequent transactions on the property, you can do approval on the property, all of them online.
Wow.
Yeah. So of course, it's not yet hooray, because Lagos has a lot of properties, and Lagos has a lot of people. So we up to today, I can tell you that we have digitized so much, and we already have that on the portal, and people are already using it.
To what percentage have we digitized? Do you have that figure?
I have the figure, but land information sometimes are not things you just put there online, because these are things that concern people.
Right.
I don't want you to hold me accountable.
Okay.
You understand, for what I'm not supposed to say. But we have already opened the portal. You understand, the portal is working. We may have some connectivity issues, because even as at 5 weeks ago, all the underwater cable was cut by a submarine, and I think that has only just recently been fixed. So citizens may experience a downtime, but they should know that we're on top of everything that we're doing. So and very, very soon, if you find out that your property is not on our portal, ensure you go to Alausa and make sure they digitize it and put it on our portal, because soon even banks will say they do not borrow you money with a land that is not found
right
on our
the digital space.
Yeah.
All right. So in terms of comparison to other parts of Nigeria, where are we as relates to digitization? And of course, even if you look at it from the center as well, how far have we gone?
Yeah. So I worked as a special assistant to the FCT Minister Erufai, and we established the Abuja Geographic Information System. And I can tell you, Abuja is a different ball game from here, because this was a city that was that was planned from day one. You have something, but Lagos grew organically, even from the time of the colonial masters. So I've also worked on other projects like the ones in Kaduna, the one in Edo, the one in Gombe. So I've worked on at least 16 to 19 digital platforms that we have.
Wow.
So I'm in a very good position, to tell you where we're at. I think that Lagos is on the driver's seat. We are doing very well, maybe better than most of those other ones, because they do not have, going back the amount of history that we have to now digitize. So if you look at the FCT, they did it going forward. In our own case, we have to do it going back, and they now do go forward.
Okay, so digitization is the first of the 3 legs for the e-GIS. The second, you said?
Instrumentation and then automation.
So where are we with instrumentation right now?
We've done. If you're following us, you will see that Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has been giving out e-GIS tools to the Office of Surveyor General, to physical planning, and also to the Lands Bureau. You understand? Even as of yesterday, I was talking with the people who were doing the audit of the systems that have been given. I found out that at least 75 systems were given to Lands Bureau. 75 systems were given to the Office of Surveyor General. I'm not sure of the number. At least in the Ministry of Physical Planning, we're talking of over 500 systems that are going to be distributed. In terms of the instrumentation and the equipment that we need to use for this project, this government has really, really done well.
Wow.
And in terms of the automation, I can tell you that we're working with Esri. Do you understand? Because of the cadastral software that we're using. We're working with TechBridge because of the Momentum software. We're working with GIS Transport because of the Molan software. We're working with IQSS because of the EDMS. So I can go on and reel out all the different packages that we have. Just recently, you know what it takes for us to get the cable from 21st century Lekki into Alausa.
Wow.
That has been done.
That's a long stretch.
Yeah, that's a long stretch. And we have also been able to extend the one from May 1 also, because we're talking about having a dedicated bandwidth for this so that this can work seamlessly. A lot of work has been put into this, and you can imagine how difficult the terrain in Lagos is. Sometimes you have to go underwater. Sometimes you have to go under the land. Sometimes you have to go over the land for you to get all of these things, and we now have landed these things successfully where we need them. So in terms of instrumentation and equipment, we're doing very well. We have the latest the latest of technologies that you can expect that any state will have. At least I've worked with Kaduna, I've worked with Abuja directly, and I can tell you that Lagos has the best.
Which is wonderful. So let's talk about the third component, automation. So where will all of this take us to? When you're through with digitization and instrumentation, then automation comes in.
Yeah.
Talk to me and explain that to our listeners.
So in terms of the automation, it's now the software and the programmers. So we are training our staff, and we also have expatriates working with us. We have different companies that are working with us, and at the end of the day, we have now what you call the lands digitization and automation center, and we have about 200 people that we're training inside of that center. By the end of this year, we are going to leave Lagos with at least 100 to 150 people who have been trained to work on the platform. We are now creating computer roles, for those who are in the Surveyor General's office, and those who are within the Lands Bureau and in physical planning, so that everybody can understand exactly what they are doing. So automation is just the software and the programming. Do you understand something? Because first, when you look at the first digitized processes in Nigeria, maybe the hospital record. Do you understand something? So when you scan everything into the system, and then you go forward, you do a blood work. Before you get to the person or the doctor that wants to see you, the thing is already on his computer. So the computer is the instrumentation. Do you understand? The automation is the way you move all those things, how they travel.
Okay.
So, and they travel through some of those things I told you about. I told you 21 is already with us.
That's right.
The other for dedicated bandwidth. I told you 21st century, restore it. So these are a number of things that need to be done for you to have a computerized land cadastre.
All right, then. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. If you're wondering who's speaking so eloquently and the one with the technical know-how of how the geospace of Lagos is looking like this morning, Dr. Olajide Babatunde. He's a special advisor to Mr. Governor on e-GIS. All right, I need to re-emphasize that e-GIS, that's Enterprise Geographic Information Service. All right, quick update. We did tell you earlier on that we had a breakdown by Corona Loop. That's precisely by Green Springs inwards Ikorodu Road, having a rare tire problem. But the good news, it has been taken off. So it's going to be a much better drive navigating through that corridor right now. Let's see if we can expand the discourse beyond the studios to also have your input. This morning, we're situating e-GIS in the urban planning equation of Lagos. Now you heard from the special advisor on what things will be looking like in the next 10, 15, 20 years and how automated even the physical and urban space of Lagos will be looking like. 08099 120 777. That's 0809 912 0777 and 091 5387 7127. That's the numbers that you can connect with us within the limited time that we have on the program. All right. So if you have any questions for the special advisor as relates to this, feel free to do so. Now, I know that 2 months ago when we had the inter-ministerial press briefing, you were making a whole lot of reference, and I know you spoke copiously at that time about the innovation of electronic physical planning permit system that was, being planned for Lagos. How far is that going, by the way?
Thank you very much, Victor. Coincidentally, we have a show and tell tomorrow. So we have a show and tell at LAPCA tomorrow. So we're trying to, end to end. We want to be able to do planning processes from end to end. We don't want you to come to Alausa anymore. I mean, it's too much stress. You can do it from home. If you sit in your house, you can apply for a planning permission. With minimum human interaction, within minutes, you can actually get a planning permit.
Okay.
Right now we say we are doing it as a 10-day deal, but the software that we're going to install, all things being equal, you have the soil samples, you have everything. If you turn it in, it's going to turn out your approval within 10 minutes. So the electronic physical planning process system, will ensure that all physical planning processes can be done online in an automated way. You are something. Nigerians, they say necessity is the mother of invention. Mm-hmm. We've come to that time where we must embrace technology.
All right.
We must embrace technology because, we cannot keep on driving e-logs around the city. Whereas we can use, satellite technology, change detection to monitor some of these things.
All right.
So we have 57 district officers in LAPCA. We have 51 district officers in LASPA. Before the end of this month, we are distributing internet connectivity and computer system to each one of them, so that they can have for each of their districts, change detection through satellite technology for them to do their work. So that even when they now take their e-logs to go and seal a site, it is only those affected sites that they will go through.
All right.
Apart from that, I need to also add that, I've talked about last week, where last week is digitizing. And last week, I give you a certified true copy in case you misplace your building approval.
Okay. All right. I have some messages that are coming in here. Let me see if I can quickly run through them. This one says, "Good morning, Lagos Traffic Radio. Please, as per the amnesty program ongoing, I realized the assessment fees are way too high, running into millions of naira. This burden is too heavy on Lagosians. Please, the governor should wade into this matter." You didn't put your name, by the way. I would have loved it if you were able to put your name. But Special Advisor, what's your reaction to that? He said,
the first thing is to even apply. Do you understand that? This person who is talking about high bill, that means the person has applied. That in itself is good. The person must have submitted drawings before assessments are done, before he can have a bill. I'm happy that the person has applied.
Okay.
So the next leg may be for you to ask for a waiver. So sometimes it's good because, some of those things are not within our power. They may be within the power of the governor or the Executive Council of Lagos State. You can write a letter to Mr. Governor. He is your listening governor. Okay. He's come up with amnesty. And I can tell you that those bills are not high. because they are not charging you any form of penalty. So there's no times 2 times 3 times. No, it's just the actual bill for that area that you have been given.
All right.
But if you feel that the bill was wrongly calculated, that is within the power of the general manager of LASPA, Kende Oshinaike, or the commissioner for physical planning, Dr. Olumide Olayinka, to look into it and try to correct that bill if there is something wrong.
Okay.
But if there is nothing wrong with the bill, then you probably need to passionately appeal to Mr. Governor. But we have had you,
kind of waiver.
and I'm sure that Mr. Governor is listening to you as well.
Okay.
I mean, if there's something that needs to be done for the backlog of applications that we have that have not been processed simply because they haven't paid, this can be looked into.
All right,
you have done the right thing by applying. There are those that have applied and have not been able to pay. I'm sure that the Commissioner for Physical Planning will look into it.
All right, then 09153877127. Numbers to call. I have the special advisor to Mr. Governor in the building, and I'm talking about Dr. Olajide Babatunde. All right, this one says, good morning, Dr. Babatunde. Can you describe the process for obtaining a building permit under the new electronic system? Engineer Tijani is sending that one in. Okay, the new electronic system. Let's take another one. This one says, good morning. What specific benefits does the e-GIS system provide to residents and businesses in Lagos? Thanks. This is is it Ababs? Abaz rather. Okay, thank you. Abiola from Oshodi says, how does the e-GIS system facilitate disaster management and emergency response in Lagos? Okay. Another one here says, good morning, Lagos Traffic Radio. How does the e-GIS system support efforts to prevent building collapse in Lagos? Lawson is sending that one in. All right, so lots to attend to.
Lots of questions. I will try. First thing in terms of, let me start from disaster management.
Yes.
When we can see every single thing in a transparent way on a platform, it is easy for citizens to complain and say, oh, we're looking at the auto photo, because this auto photo is going to be made available to everyone. It's not something that is hidden. We're looking at this and we see that this person has actually built in the wrong place. Look at the flooding that happened a few days ago. It's not anything compared to other countries of the world. However, I can say that some of the reasons why, with the impact was even that much was because there are some obstacles on the way. Through e-GIS, we're able to identify some of those things that shouldn't be there. You understand? And we can quickly advise the Ministry of Environment and also other relevant bodies to look into this. We're working with the Ministry of Waterfront Infrastructure Development for the shoreline protection. We're able to see how the earth is moving. You understand? Through the technology that we have. So, we're working with them, and I can tell you that we have a report, that we have put before the Federal Executive, the State Executive Council, and we're looking at, looking for ecological funds to try and quickly address some of these issues.
All right.
There were other questions that were...
e-GIS supporting to prevent building collapse.
So to prevent building collapse, the fact that there is no hiding place anymore. As you are building, we are monitoring it. Do you understand? The electronic physical planning process system, right from when you start your foundation, it is being reported on that platform. Somebody had asked a similar question where it was asking me to describe the processes.
Yes, of a building plan.
So from the time you've done your drawings electronically, because that drawing now is not going to be the paper form. When you turn it in electronically, it's just like when you want to apply for a visa. Those ones are now, you are scanning your passport. But in this case, the drawing must be interactive. So it must be in the format that we want it. You turn it into our system. The system will automatically approve it by itself. Wow. And because it has minimum human interaction, the system will not cut corners.
Right. So it will be
human beings may cut corners, but it will not cut corners. And once it is approved, it sends it to the system will send it to the necessary agencies or the necessary officers that need to be on the project from day one.
All right, and so we're talking about efficiency here. Let's begin to take this home this morning. Dr. Babatunde, in 30 seconds, what's the message to our people? What's your parting thought on the program this morning?
I just want to again say Thank you that you've come with us on this journey. I'm elated by the number of questions that have been asked. It shows that people are interested, in the system, But above all, I just want to thank Lagosians for the fact that during this segment, the way they've responded to the program and responded to the ministry and responded to us, the officers, we can say nothing else but thank you very much.
All right, then we'll leave it at that for now. Dr. Olajide Babatunde, thank you so much for being here. All right, he's a special advisor to Mr. Governor on e-GIS and urban development. And this morning, we've been able to situate the place of e-GIS in the urban planning equation of Lagos. Mike James has produced the program. I say a big thank you to Adetola Akinsoya, Chief Public Affairs Officer for the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. Not forgetting the director himself, talking about Mukaila Sanusi, for working tirelessly behind the scene for this program to come on stream every week. All right, then. So this is the end of this quarter, but of course, it continues next week, as as a special advisor has also said as well. John Afe is of the social media unit. Same for Okpayemi Shodunke. A big thank you going out to our executive producer, Taya Conley. My name is Victor Oteri. Have a splendid day. Bye.